An end of year countdown video? Sure, why not? Mainly because I didn't have much time to watch or film anything new before the holidays completely consumed me. Also, it's been one full year and change since Marvel and Sony decided to play nicely enough to bring me my favorite Marvel movie of all time. Today, I will again be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, but this time counting down my 10 personal favorite deep cut, fan servicey, things you missed kind of moments in the movie. There's loads of more comprehensive videos like this on YouTube, but here I'm just listing things that stood out to me that I thought were pretty amazing. Before I dive in, I just want to get one big moment out of the way since nobody missed Charlie Cox reprising his role as Matt Murdock. And frankly, you physically cannot talk about fan service in this movie without mentioning it. It was huge. I mean, I screamed, "Oh my god!" in the theater when I saw the walking cane enter the frame and I realized what the F was going on. This was something fans had been praying would happen since the end of Far From Home. And thank the stars, my wife and I hadn't seen the latest episode of Hawkeye at the time, otherwise, spoilers for those who haven't finished Hawkeye, we would have seen Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin and might have made the connection that a Matt Murdock cameo was actually possible. So yeah, it was a big reveal for a lot of people, and I didn't want to include it in this list because it was an obvious one. But yeah, that was my experience with it, and I was absolutely blown away that this was how they established Daredevil in the MCU proper. Okay, onto my list. Most of these are going to be quite obvious, but some not so much. In any case, I'm using this as another excuse to keep talking about this movie a year later. And I didn't want a subjective countdown, so I'm just going in order of appearance in the movie. Number 1, the manhole cover. Right at the beginning, we get a little hat tip to Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man with this clever little manhole cover sequence. Small moment, but I just love that the MCU's Peter had the same sensibilities as the Amazing Spider-Man. Thanks to Doctor Strange, we get to see a visual depiction of the spider sense for the first time in live action. In the past, they've used audio cues and slow motion, but never the squiggly lines that we see in animation or in the comics. I love how they incorporated it into Peter's astral form, since having it appear in the real world would just look corny otherwise. Bravo, Marvel! Bravo. Immediately after this, we get a nod to Spider-Man's appearance in Marvel's What If, where as zombie hunter Spidey, he gets to wear the cloak of levitation. It's another small moment that happens as Peter's trying to get away with the Machina de Cadavis. It happens really briefly and might not mean anything to those who aren't balls deep in the Disney Plus stuff as well, but of course I nerded out. Number 4, Feast. The Feast homeless shelter where May works was first introduced in the comics in 2008 and played a really prominent role in 2018's Spider-Man video game by Insomniac. Seeing it in the movie gave Aunt May much more depth as a character, which plays heavily into her immortal words to Peter. Everyone and their grandmother knows the quote as delivered by Uncle Ben.
With great power comes great responsibility.
In the first Spider-Man film. It's become immortalized since then. It's even been paraphrased.
Look, when you can do the things that I can, but you don't, and then the bad things happen, they happen because of you.
And bastardized.
Not choice, responsibility.
So when Peter says to her,
"It's not my responsibility, May,"
I braced myself because, oh my god, they were gonna let May deliver the mantra in this universe. To the uninformed, what Aunt May says to Peter might sound like another rewording of the Great Responsibility quote, but in fact, her version is verbatim what Stan Lee had originally written in 1962.
And with great power, there must also come great responsibility.
Through tears and audible sobs, my nerdy heart didn't just flutter, it soared. The cute little moment where Ned promises not to turn into a supervillain and betray Peter was hilarious, especially with Andrew's knowing wink. It hints at the Ned leads in the comics who eventually becomes the Hobgoblin. Other fans also noted that the color of Ned's varsity jacket is actually indicative of the Goblin's color scheme. Do I think that this is the path they're gonna take with Peter's BFF? Doubtful, but as always, it's super fun when they acknowledge the legacy.
You okay? Oh, my back.
This was another pretty obvious reference to Spider-Man 2. It gave us a wonderful bro moment between Peters 2 and 3 and called back to the classic Sam Raimi scene.
My back. Oh, my back.
This on-the-nose reference was a little camera wink at Miles Morales.
There's gotta be a black Spider-Man somewhere out there.
Since Into the Spider-Verse was released, Miles has become a bit of a household name by now, but it was still fun to have another hint at a potential black Spider-Man in the MCU, you know, in case you missed the one in Homecoming.
I don't want those weapons in this neighborhood. I got a nephew who live here.
Back in Amazing Spider-Man issue 400 where Aunt May dies in the comics, her gravestone reads, "She taught us love." The one in the movie, however, is taken directly from the Insomniac Spider-Man game reading, "When you help someone, you help everyone." really hammering home May's turn as a guiding light for Peter in this last chapter of her life.
Look around you. This is what we do. We help people.
And last but not least, number 10, the ending. This wasn't so much an Easter egg or a deep cut reference as it was a metaphorical middle finger to anyone who said that Tom Holland's Peter hadn't experienced loss or adversity. Everything about this sequence was phenomenal to me. The police scanner app most recently seen in the Spider-Man video game, the crappy New York apartment much akin to what we saw in the Raimi movies, and of course, the comics accurate cloth suit complete with sewing machine. As a Marvel fanboy, even I had reservations about him having a Stark suit, so stripping him down to modest dwellings and a handmade suit made this whole trilogy feel like his origin story, his true starting point as Spider-Man. And everything we know about the tortured, guilt-ridden Spider-Man of the comics is now possible without the crushing weight of the MCU on Tom's shoulders. Brilliant. Alright, there you have it, a small collection of moments I really loved and appreciated in a movie that I continue to love and appreciate more each time I watch it. I did omit the One More Day homage at the end of the film since I already discussed it in my first YouTube video. And as I said then, it really is a fascinating direction to take the character in a way that creates endless possibilities. If you made it this far, thank you so much for again watching another Spider-Man heavy video from yours truly. It's a topic I can't get enough of and probably will never stop creating content for. Well, this is my last video for 2022. I hope you all had an amazing year. I personally can't wait till 2023 starts because we got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Creed 3 starring and directed by Michael B. Jordan, John freaking Wick, and my most anticipated, The Last of Us on HBO. And that's only first quarter. There's lots to be excited for and I can't wait to talk about all of it. So I hope you come back in the new year to catch my thoughts on all the stuff I haven't talked about yet.